Hello everybody, this is Darth Boy, and it has been a very long time since I've explicitly done a fuck Trump the fascist type of video. The title of this, I don't know however how many parts I've done, is y'all finally catching up. I did a community post about this a couple days ago, but I feel I want to really drive the point home here. People thought I was crazy 9 years ago when I first made that video. I got such pushback from right-wing clowns and arrogant assholes that there were moments where, in my own claims, I questioned whether I was jumping the gun. Then the fucker did a failed coup, and since that failed coup, he has gotten worse. The fact that Donald Trump, according to some polls, still might have a chance to become president again, and possibly president for life, is absolutely terrifying. Again, if you think I'm speaking in hyperbole, you're foolish. Remember, this is a man who did a failed coup against the United States. The fact he wasn't charged for it shows how divided we are as a country. Because if his own party is willing to constantly kiss the fucking ring, and if that party still holds a solid amount of power in the government, then we are in, frankly, do or die terms for the future of the United States. I don't want to think about if Donald Trump wins, because that is terrifying. There's data, however, that points to how people might be underestimating Kamala Harris in the polls, because maybe they're over counting right-wingers or Trump supporters in the polling. So that is one reason why they might be overestimating Trump's chances. However, due to me living in PA, I refuse to take any poll for granted. I am going to treat this, and have treated this, like it is a do-or-die situation. The fact that Donald Trump, if he wins this state, could become the next president of the United States is a thing I witnessed firsthand. It's a thing I reacted to put it mildly. It's a thought that hasn't left my head since that fateful election in 2016. When you have a presidential candidate, a man who tried to overthrow the people's choice for president with the powers he had, a man who tried so desperately to hold on to this power just to escape his own legal failings, and because he is a vile fascist authoritarian, this is somebody who has wined and dined with white supremacists. This is somebody who wants to support Israel's borderline genocide and wants to make it an actual, full-on genocide. He wants Palestinians wiped off the map. All the horrible things you witnessed in his first term will be far worse in his second term. This is a man who got a taste for the most powerful position in the world and loved every second of it, even though he was getting constantly, and I mean constantly, investigated because of Russian interference in the 2016 election, because of his suspicious, at best, business dealings, his refusal to really give up his stakes in his companies, him basically being the dream candidate for billionaires with his tax cuts. A man who almost got us into several wars, a man who wanted to invade Syria, a man who you can blame for the state we are in regarding Israel and Palestine, because he placed the official U.S. embassy for Israel in Jerusalem, which should be a neutral territory governed by the United Nations, due to how culturally significant it is to all the Abrahamic faiths. If you think somebody who idolizes the likes of Vladimir Putin, Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, Xi Jinping is someone fit to be president, let alone one time, but another time, I'm not even going to pretend like Donald Trump is going to willingly let go of power if he wins and has another 4 years. This will not be a man who will go quietly if he is still president in 2028. This is a man that will do whatever he can to hold on to power. We can go back to the Bush administration for why we are in this state, due to how they expanded executive powers to the point where they could basically declare war on whoever the fuck they wanted without declaring war officially, but it was still declaring war. And to be fair, no president since George W. Bush has rescinded these horrid, unnecessary privileges the executive branch has. If you think someone like Donald Trump isn't going to take that to the next level and just abolish the Constitution, which he talked about. This man also said he's going to be a dictator on day one. God, I hate being right. I fucking hate it. The man is too dangerous to be this close to the presidency. I have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not a lot. For all I know, most of you are probably here for my Blu-ray and DVD videos. Some of you are probably here for my political videos. Some of you were here for the videos I posted of my adorable hamster. May they all rest in peace. Or maybe a tech video or two. But because I have a platform, I'm going to say unequivocally, fuck Donald Trump. He is a fascist. He is somebody who will not let go of power when his time is up. He has already proven that he will not, unless he is threatened with this, that his generals will not support him. Keep in mind, this is a man who said he wished he had the generals Hitler had. Let's just ignore the fact that Hitler was almost assassinated by those very generals, but, you know, Donny Boy ain't really the most literate when it comes to history. Oh, this is a man who also said there were good people on both sides during a white supremacist rally and terrorist attack. This is a man who didn't denounce Richard Spencer after he did the Hail Trump shit in 2016. This is a man who, as I said, wined and dined with Nick Fuentes, a known white supremacist and neo-Nazi. This is a man who has aligned himself with the Christian right for the simple reason that the Christian right has become so power-hungry that they will also ensure whatever they can, however they can, to keep Donald Trump as president for life, and those who follow his vile ilk. All we got to do is look at Project 2025, and it lays out clearly what Trump wants to fucking do, the way he will ensure that the Christian right have more power in this country than they have had in its entirety, which is absolutely terrifying for anybody who isn't a Christian. Like this Jewish guy here. To finalize my case, January 6th could have marked the end of this country. Donald Trump is not your friend when it comes to civil liberties. He is not your friend if you are an anti-war activist, if you are somebody who is against U.S. imperialism. This is a man who fed the war machine. Remember, this motherfucker wasn't the one who got us out of Afghanistan. Joe Biden was the man that bit the bullet on that shit. Donald Trump was the man that destroyed the Iran nuclear agreement, which I think was pretty substantial in ensuring that we had some form of peace in the Middle East. Not much, but it was something. As Kamala Harris brought up, it was Congress who made those stimulus checks happen, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump was resistant to the stimulus checks. And keep in mind, we only got 2 or 3 stimulus checks, the ones who were eligible for them. Did he keep those throughout his time as president during the pandemic? No. Now, should Joe Biden have done it until mid-2021 for those who qualified? Of course he should have. He should have, but he didn't. But we're not talking about Biden here. We're talking about Trump, who was president at the height of a global pandemic. A man who let millions of people die. A man who refused to listen to his top medical advisor. A man who constantly spewed misinfo and disinformation when it came to the effectiveness of masks, when it came to social distancing, when it came to really helping us as a people when we needed a fucking leader. Donald Trump failed, and he will fail again if he becomes president again. We cannot afford a lifetime presidency of Trump. And you think I am speaking hyperbole. I am not. I am speaking as somebody who has looked into history. I am speaking as someone who read and looked into Mussolini's rise to power as well as Hitler's rise to power. You know what's funny about Hitler's rise to power? If you look into it, he failed in the 20s when he tried to overthrow the German government. And then he succeeded once he was appointed to chancellor, because he didn't really win. Sounds like another potential dictator we're dealing with, doesn't it? There are a few days left until November 5th. I'm going to use those remaining days to continue to campaign for Kamala Harris, who will be the 47th president of the United States. Vote for Kamala Harris if you are in a swing state especially. Our votes are the ones that will be the most impactful. We have a moral obligation to the country and to our future generations to ensure that we remain somewhat of a democratic republic. With that in mind, live long and prosper. Thank you for watching this video. And if you want to, subscribe to my channel. If you don't want to, check out another one of my videos. And you know what? Just see what I got to offer. Once again, thank you for watching and have a good day.